Hey, how's it going, everybody? 7 o'clock Saturday night, 7 p.m. 7:30 p.m. actually. 7:30 p.m. Saturday, June 26, 2021. June 26, 2021, Saturday. Feel like trash. Feel dizzy. Pulse was going crazy today, up and down. It got real high today, earlier. So, you know it's bad when you call your cardiologist and it's a nurse it's a nurse, not actual cardiologist on call. It's a cardiologist on call, but a nurse handles the calls. But she asked me, what the heck is inappropriate sinus tachycardia? So they're asking me what it is, and they're a nurse. So, yeah. She goes, what's your heart rate? Or not heart rate, but she said, what's your blood pressure? So they kept on focusing on blood pressure, not pulse rate being high. I called and told them that my pulse rate was high. Tachycardia episode. They got it where it was going over 200 beats per minute today. It just tells you what they got working for them. People have no clue what it is. And what the problem is, the hospitals over here don't have a cardiologist over there. So when you go over there with a heart issue, it don't get corrected. They just blame the heart issue on anxiety every single time, regardless. If you go there every day for 6 months, see different people, they don't know what it is. If you're going there with a heart problem, tell them your heart's racing, your blood pressure's up, they don't know what's causing it, so they say it's anxiety. That's their words, and they get you out the door. And they do not treat it. You can go in there with a 200 pulse rate and a blood pressure reading of 180 over 160 or whatever. They won't treat it. You know, they'd sit there and give excuses. Why is it like that? How much Mountain Dew you drink today? How much coffee you drink today? 30 cups? One nurse came in and said, how much Mountain Dew you drink today? 3 2-liters? That's how they treat you over there. Then an 80-year-old doctor comes in and says, yeah, I seen people a lot higher than that. I seen people over here with 300 pulse rate and their blood pressure is sky high. It's not going to kill you, he said. I said, are you going to treat it or not? Because I'm sweating and my heart is racing. No, we're not going to treat it. It's just anxiety. Give it a few hours. You'll be all right. So that's how it is over there. So that's the way I've been treated the past 6.5 months. Yeah. I know I went in there in October. I think it was Halloween, and walked in there with a very high pulse rate, and they wouldn't treat it. And my doctor got mad because she's the one who told me to go to the hospital because my pulse rate was like 160s, 169, 170, and it wouldn't go down. It just sat there for hours. So that's why I called That's why I called my doctor on call. She said, go to emergency room. So I called the ambulance, went to emergency room. They drew blood first thing off that. They took urine. They waited 3 hours, took more blood. I said, what are you doing checking blood every 3 hours or so? He said, we're checking heart enzymes. And he's shaking his head, going like this. Yeah, you see a cardiologist here in about 14 days. I'll just wait to let them treat it. So I had to lay in bed basically because it went down when I laid in bed. It went down when I laid in bed, but it still was in the 100s, but not in the 160 or 170, you know. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. So I called my doctor when I got back home, and I said, yeah, I just got back from the hospital. I was there about 4 hours or so, 4.5, 5 hours or whatever. He said they didn't treat it. I'm like, no. I said, no, they did not treat it. That's why I'm calling you. So she called me in a beta blocker. And that helped, but it took a few days for that to get in my system. It seemed like it didn't work overnight. I still had issues. I still had I still had tachycardia episodes with that beta blocker. And it took me a few weeks to get used to it in my system. So, yeah, because when I bend down and pull back up, the blood come rushing down to my legs and my body, and it caused my pulse rate just go crazy. Tachycardia episode. So, now I just quit going to the hospital. I just deal with it here. They said just take beta blocker, another beta blocker. It's only 25 milligrams. They go up to 200. So they said just take another one. You got an episode. I might take another one before I go to bed because it's in the hundreds when I'm laying down right now. Yeah, so it's been acting goofy actually. You know what I mean? It's acting goofy. So it's 129, 130 standing up. I was in there trying to do dishes. I got in the 130s. Then it jumped down to 120, then 120 to 110, then back to 99, back up to 110, back up to 90, 99. It's been jumping all over the place. You know what I mean? So, I got one pan left in there soaking. Let me soak a little bit, put a Brillo pad on and get that scrubbed up. But other than that, it's like today's been a complete mess. You know what I mean? It's been a complete disaster. That pulse is just going nuts. You know, dizziness. Trying to get hold of my nurse, and the nurse on call. She called me because she was driving. The on-call nurse company you call, they call a nurse. She was driving, so she called me back for about 15 minutes. Then I told her I'm checking my blood pressure. Machine takes like a minute or so. And I lost connection with her. Here she had another call when I was on the phone with her. Then it took her like an hour to call back. I thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, they don't even know what it is either. She said, what do you have? I said, inappropriate sinus tachycardia. She didn't know what it was, and she's a nurse practitioner. You see what I mean? I get diagnosed with crap that people have no clue what it is. Even the nurse. Yeah. So I called my doctor on call, told her what was going on. I told her they took blood Thursday, and they did a COVID thing to test your immunity. They take another half tube of blood or whatever. I won't get them results back till Monday or Tuesday, and I have to call them to get on them about it because they don't call me and tell me. They leave it like in the dark when I call my doctor. I have to get on their ass. Yeah, we can't tell you the blood results. Well, I got to talk to the doctor, and it's like days later before you hear anything. You figure as soon as they get the results back, they call you and they'll go over them with you. They don't. I have to get on their ass. When I call over there Monday morning when they open, watch them like, well, I can't go over the results for you and blah, blah, blah. Your doctor is busy. Then it's 2 or 3 or 4 days before they get back with me and give me the results. That's what I deal with. So, you know what I mean? They did like 4 tubes of blood, or 3.5 tubes of blood. They came here Thursday morning. They came here before noon, I know it was. I think they came here around, I don't know what it was, 10 o'clock or something, Thursday to draw blood. And they were late anyway. I mean, they're out here pretty quick. And usually the next day they get results back on the blood work, but not the COVID thing. The COVID thing, she said, it'll take about a week. And she gave me a little flyer to go online and they can mail me the results of that immunity test. Then my wife said, well, that immunity test is only 50% accurate. It's not very accurate. I mean, you're damn if you do and damn if you don't. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So I figure I'd get on here and tell you how crappy my day was today. You know, I try to stay active. You know, when I was laying down, that pulse rate was going 180, 190, 200, 220, 225. I was laying down. I said, okay. I was dizzier and shit, and I got up, started moving around, then it started going back down. And I said, I'm in there yelling at them, get off the damn internet, give me a cup of milk so I can take my beta blocker, because you got to take that medicine with milk. Otherwise, you'll be puking your guts out. It's bad on your stomach. You know what I mean? Very bad on your stomach. Yeah. So after I took that beta blocker, I gave it about a half hour to start going down eventually. You know what I mean? It eventually went down, so I'm thinking, thank God. It's bad when you call a cardiologist on call and a nurse calls you, and they'll have no clue what you're talking about when you tell me you have a tachycardia episode or inappropriate sinus tachycardia episode. When I called my nurse on call, they said, what's your blood pressure? I said, the blood pressure is high, but not as high as that pulse rate. I said, I called and told them I had a tachycardia episode, a fast heart rate, and they're talking about blood pressure. You see what I mean? They have no clue what it is. That's what I'm dealing with. And what sucks about it, they don't have a cardiologist at the hospital. So they're guessing, when you go in with heart problems, they're guessing what it is. And they're just going to say, okay, we're just going to blame it on anxiety and get him the hell out of here. They blow you off and get you out that door. The nurse even escorted me out the door. Every single time, all 9 times or whatever it was. I lost count going over there. But I got discharge paperwork in my room here. 9 times, 9 different times. And every one of them said anxiety issues on the discharge paperwork. Seen for anxiety problems, anxiety issues. Did not even look at the cardiologist's computer and seeing all the notes in there because they're at the same network. Yeah, St. Elizabeth, same network. They can go in there and look at my cardiologist's records and test all the tests he did. They don't even see that. See how lazy they are? That's what I deal with, a bunch of bull crap. Yeah, so, yeah, they said go to a different hospital, but cardiologists be a different network. It'd be a different network, you know what I mean? It's like crazy. I have to pay money, insurance and all that. Then I have to say, okay, take it to my cardiologist. You know, I have a good cardiologist. It's just the hospital, okay? Yeah, the cardiologist was very thorough. EKGs, echograms, blood work, you know, keep an eye on my medicine, gave me a heart monitor to wear for 30 days. Unfortunately, after the 30 days, I had an episode. I figured that was going to happen. You know, like 2 weeks after after I returned the heart monitor, I had an episode. I had an episode every 6 weeks. I won't have another episode, knock on wood, for 6 more weeks. It seems like it's like a pattern, like every 6 weeks. Huh, isn't that crazy? Every 6 weeks, where that pulse rate just goes through the roof. It's not a very good feeling, because it feels like someone's got a blowtorch with fire on your chest. And when you go to the hospital or have the ambulance look at you, say, we're not going to turn the lights and sirens on because you're not dying. You have an anxiety attack. I mean, I don't want to be treated like that. You know what I mean? Go in the hospital and they ask you stupid questions like, how much Mountain Dew you drink, or you drink 2 liters of Mountain Dew today, you drink 30 cups of coffee, just like that, going, ha, 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 ha. The nurse walks in. He must have a fever, his pulse rate being that high. It took my temperature. Guess what? No fever. Ha ha. They don't know what it is. You tell them inappropriate sinus tachycardia or tachycardia episode, they don't know what it is. Even the doctors don't know what it is at the hospital. What a fucking joke. It's crazy. But yeah, you guys have a lovely Saturday. I'm going to bed early tonight, I guarantee that. My heart thing last night said I slept 7 hours light sleep and an hour and a half deep sleep. So basically, the problem is I didn't get deep sleep enough. And that's why I had an episode, not resting enough. My kids will get up 6 o'clock in the morning regardless. They go to bed at midnight, 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning. They still get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they don't want to go to bed. They want to play on the phones and internet all night long. It's just like I'm crazy. It's ridiculous. And I said, you've been on the internet 12 hours. That's enough. You know what I mean? They don't want to do anything but stay on the internet all day. Play with their tablets and phones and computers and all that. Video games. Crazy. But yeah, you guys have a rest of your Saturday. Please comment down below. I'm going to bed. I'm very tired for some reason. I'm just worn out. But you guys have a lovely Saturday. Comment down below, and I'll comment when I get a chance. But thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Thank you so much, everybody out there. Okay? Bye now. Have a good Saturday. Thank you so much. Okay? Thanks a million.